auras usually buff your own creatures. But what if every aura you put on an enemy creature made sure they could never swing at you? That's exactly what Eriette of the Charmed Apple does best. And once you start enchanting, the threats stop advancing. Hi everyone, I'm Philharmonicon and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about a really cool aura-based control deck. This commander takes the aura archetype in a completely different direction. We're not just using auras as buffs. Every aura you attach to an enemy creature becomes a control piece, and the more auras you have, the more you drain your opponents. It's Eriette of the Charmed Apple, and if you love recruiting your opponent's creatures by enchanting them, making sure they can't attack you, and slowly draining the table for the win, this deck is for you. Eriette is a 2/4 human warlock for 3 mana, 1 colorless, 1 white, and 1 black. She has 2 abilities that synergize perfectly with auras. First, each creature enchanted by an aura you control can't attack you or planeswalkers you control. Second, at the beginning of each end step, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of auras you control. What this means is that we can enchant our opponent's creatures, shut them off from attacking us, but they're still free to attack each other. And then, at the end of our turn, we drain the entire table equal to the number of auras we control. The game plan here is control. First, we want to start enchanting our opponent's creatures. Then, we get Eriette online to lock down combat and begin draining life. And finally, we win through repeated life drain from Eriette's second ability. Auras are our main tools here. Enchanting enemy creatures keeps them from attacking us, and buffing those creatures can even add a bit of politics to the game. Let's talk about the meat of the deck, the auras. All that glitters buffs a creature equal to the number of artifacts and enchantments you control. It even counts your mana rocks. Ethereal armor, similar to all that glitters, only counts enchantments and gives first strike. Spirit Link, Vampiric Link, and Spirit Loop. Cheap auras that let you gain life whenever the enchanted creature deals damage. Spirit Loop even returns to your hand when the creature dies. Songbird's Blessing. You reveal cards until you hit an aura, then either put it into play for free or into your hand whenever the enchanted creature attacks. Angelic Destiny gives +4/+4 and flying, and then returns to your hand when the creature dies. Clawing Torment and Stab Wound speed up the life drain while also debuffing the creature they're attached to. Trespasser's Curse enchants an opponent instead of a creature, pinging them for 1 whenever a creature enters the battlefield under their control. Nurgle's Rot is cheap and repeatable. Whenever the creature dies, you get a 1/3 body, and the aura returns to your hand to do it again. Spirit Mantle makes the enchanted creature completely unblockable. Angelic Gift and Feather of Flight grant flying and draw you a card when they enter the battlefield. These next auras want to be put on enemy creatures. They buff them slightly and goad them, but remember, they still can't attack us. Parasitic Impetus gives +2/+2 and drains the creature's controller for 2 whenever it attacks. Ghoulish Impetus gives +1/+1 and Death Touch, and returns to the battlefield whenever the creature dies. Martial Impetus gives +1/+1 and pumps all creatures attacking one of your opponents. And finally, Redemption Arc grants Indestructible and later lets you exile the enchanted creature entirely. These cards aren't auras themselves, but they love when auras are around. Retether brings back every aura from your graveyard and reattaches them. Archon of Sun's Grace and Sigil of the Empty Throne are alternate win conditions that build a flying army as you play enchantments. Lightpaw's Emperor's Voice tutors an aura every time you cast one, creating another major threat. Undo Spirit Dancer copies the first aura that enters the battlefield each turn. Absolutely wild value. We need to protect our life total from creatures we haven't enchanted. Ghostly Prison makes attacking you cost extra mana. Sphere of Safety takes that idea even further, scaling with your enchantment count. Speaking of protection, Eriette needs to stay on the battlefield for the deck to function smoothly. Kaya's Ghost Form forces opponents to use 2 removal spells. Timely Ward is flash protection that can fizzle removal at instant speeds. Minions Return is protection early or a creature theft if timed right. Gift of Immortality is great against removal and board wipes, and it just keeps coming back. Fungal Fortitude is flash protection that brings the creature back when it dies. Not Dead After All is not an aura, but it brings a creature back and creates a Wicked Roll token, which is an aura. I've also included the MDFC lands, Sujiri Shelter, and Malakir Rebirth. These are basically free protection slots. Auras have some excellent enchantment-based draw options. Mesa Enchantress, SRAM Senior Edificer, and Core Spirit Dancer. Draw a card whenever you cast an aura. Spirit Dancer also grows with every aura attached to her. Sage's Reverie buffs a creature and draws cards equal to the number of auras attached to it. Hateful Eidolon draws cards when enchanted creatures die. Lord Skitter's Blessing makes a Wicked Roll token and draws you cards if you control an enchanted creature. Ashiok's Reaper draws whenever your enchantments hit the graveyard. Phyrexian Arena is a classic enchantment-based draw engine. Underworld Connections enchants a land and turns it into a repeatable card draw. Some of our best removal comes stapled to auras. Darksteel Mutation completely shuts down an opposing commander. Reprobation, similar effect, just without the indestructible. Sheltered by Ghosts removes any non-land permanents and buffs your creature with lifelink and ward. Petrify strips a creature of all of its abilities. Winds of Wrath wipes every creature you haven't enchanted. That's perfect for this deck. And of course the classics. Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile, Anguished Unmaking, Generous Gift, and Stroke of Midnight. All round out the removal package. Orzhov isn't amazing at ramp, but we've got some aura-specific help. Pearl Ear, Imperial Advisor, gives your enchantments infinities for auras, and draws cards when you enchant modified creatures. Killian, Ink Duelist, reduces the cost of your auras by 2. Starfield Mystic, Transcendent Envoy, Denitha Capuchin Paragon, all reduce aura costs by 1. And then there's the usual suspects. Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Talisman of Hierarchy, and Orzhov Signet. Here are some lands that really stand out. Hall of Heliod's Generosity puts an enchantment from your graveyard on top of your library. Ishgard the Holy Sea recurs an enchantment or enters early as a white source. Velgavoth's Lair fixes mana and counts as an enchantment. Glasswing Grace is either a land or a flying lifelink buff. Eriette is a really unique aura-focused commander. She isn't Voltron. She isn't even trying to enchant your own creatures. She controls combat, adds politics to the table, and acts as the deck's main win condition through life drain. She is crucial to the strategy though, so protect her. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe for more. And hey, if you're picking up any of these cards, consider using my TCG Player affiliate link down below. And until next time, may all your opponent's creatures be enchanted by auras.